So, yeah, I gotta just own that. Go ahead and position. Yes, the captain of the Scarlet Circle. I think I swore. I feel like I always pile up in a store. It kind of sucks. Actually, yeah, I don't want to be in a store. We're gonna get us a treasure map. Look for that. I don't want to do anything crazy. Oh, there is that. We can go tango with the Rango. See if there's there, so maybe not a good idea. Let's go tango. See, this is why I hate. Like, come on. But I want to talk about Elbaph today. I got some time. I gotta go pick up my kids from school. Got off work early today. I feel like break week's always the kind of the time to talk about predictions because spoilers start coming early on a Monday. So you talk about your predictions or anything after this point, everyone thinks you read the spoilers, especially if you're even like somewhat close to being right. But actually, I kind of want to start from the beginning of all that. This is why it's storms like already getting messed up. It's just from nature itself. But the beginning of Elbaph is actually at the end of a chapter. Or we can consider that the beginning of the Elbaph arc, because I would consider that the chapter right before that, which is 1125, to be the official end of Egghead. To me. And that was what Death means. That's the chapter that Garland was promoted to Forestay. Saturn dies. Vegapunk is revealed to be alive. Pretty much all of them. And the internet is screwed, or the cloud. And the chapter right after that is where we see Shanks take down Bartolomeo. Blackbeard gets his whole crew back together, just like Lafitta's hanging out with Uman, or he's like spying on Uman. I'm not exactly sure what's going on there. I'll have to look back at that. But at the very end, that's when we find out that, the Straw Hats, or we see Nami waking up in a strange place, the Lego Land. And that's technically the start of the Elbaph arc, because that's actually is in Elbaph. And at the time, a lot of people didn't think we were in Elbaph. Some people were thinking that we were kidnapped by the Holy Knights, maybe the Blackbeard pirates. I can't remember all of the things, but there was quite a bit of different ideas as what was going on with Nami. Some people thought it was an illusion because they had been drinking that green fairy stuff that can cause hallucinations. Or at least they were warned of that. That didn't really seem to go anywhere. And the funny thing is that there were some inconsistencies in the chapters, like inconsistencies in the art a few chapters later, or even in the very next chapter, that a lot of people were pointing out and just saying, aha, see, this is all an illusion. Which just, in hindsight, is hilarious. But that's neither here nor there anymore, I guess. Because now we know that it was all real, that those inconsistencies were just that, inconsistencies. So people were wondering, where were we? We even seen, or we got to see the giant in the fake sun god outfit, and some people were even suggesting that maybe that was one of the Holy Knights and the Straw Hats are shrunk. I never thought that personally, but it's One Piece, anything could happen. So that was a theory that was going around that it was the Straw Hats being shrunk, and they busted out, and then finally we found out we were actually in Elbaph. And there was actually that big tree because they were like in this mirror tool shed thing that Roto had built that was giant to them, but it was actually just like a small room for Roto with mirrors to make it look a lot bigger. And there was a lot of people saying, "Oh my God, this was the world tree. This is the world tree," and there was actually debates on whether that was the real world tree or not. I didn't think it was. It did not look like the same tree, and I felt like we were trying to be gaslit into thinking that it was the same tree. And now, in hindsight, it's funny because of how much ridiculously bigger the real Adam Yggdrasil tree is compared to that little thing inside that room, which was already pretty big compared to like the crew. But yeah, it was nowhere close to the size of the real thing. It doesn't even look anything like the real thing. So we got to see that. They break out. And Loki, basically, we didn't know until Luffy told us, but he had been feeling this strange, like roaring feeling, and I assume that it's probably hockey. And he goes down to see what it is. And it turns out to be Loki, and that was an epic reveal. Oh man, I can't wait to be like years away from this and looking back and going, man, what a time. That when we got to see the Loki reveal, it was so cool. Everybody was hyped to see what he could do, because eventually we're going to know what he can do, and all the hype's going to die down. And then Oda starts building up this lore about how he killed his father for his devil fruit, how he's crazy strong, how it took Shanks and the Giants to take him down. And so far, I think at this point, people were already ridiculously hyped with the prospect of this arc. And then suddenly, the Holy Knights showed up. Well, actually, no. Before that, I think it was the reunion with Saul, which, was kind of contentious. I actually was not a big fan, and I understand if you're a big fan of it, but, I like my ducks to be pretty permanent. It's not something that Oda does well. If it was up to me, I would have had Soul stay dead. But hey, Oda's gonna do his thing. Some fans loved it. I was not a fan. However, it was a beautiful reunion. Um, the arc is going great for the characters. Robin's getting moments. Frankie's getting good stuff. Let's hope Usopp gets some stuff. We've got the original trio. I'm hoping that Sanji gets something good here. And we also had this character that was kind of hinted right at the end of Egghead, right before we started Elbaph, of a man waiting on the shore with a hat. It looked like the guy who was drinking with Crocus, which is freaking crazy that Oda would think to put him in a cover story. A cover story, guys. And 600, what was it, 631? So 500 chapters before we actually get to meet the character. Wow. But either way, this guy is seemingly the same guy that was hanging out with Crocus. And he's also walking around Elbaph, and he's sitting on Elbaph, and he seems to be waiting for the Straw Hat crew. And throughout our time is like figuring out, are we on Elbaph? Where are we? When we finally learn where we are, we get to actually see his silhouette kind of walking around Elbaph, building up to the moment where we finally introduce them. And this is actually after the Holy Knights introduction. So I want to talk about the Holy Knights being introduced, which was freaking awesome. A lot of people have been speculating at this time. Some people didn't actually like the idea, I guess, that, Shanks had a twin or a brother. And that was actually finally confirmed with the reveal of Shamrock. His name's a little silly, but, it's One Piece. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. So, yeah. It's okay. cannonballs. Nothing better than talking about pirates on a pirate ship. I wish there was more naval battles in one of these. What I'm talking about, because I feel like that's a comic that played on. It's a lot of One Piece fans. There's also another ship way over there to my right. You guys see it? A lot of One Piece fans want more naval battles, and it was really cool seeing just that glimpse of one with Blackbeard versus Law. That was super awesome. Yes, I want to stay as far away from that thing as possible. But either way, so at this point, we also revealed to Gunko. Gunko is this really cool looking female. A lot of people were talking about how they wish she had pants. I get it. Oda never treats the male characters this way. It sucks. We definitely want to see, more respect given to the female characters in terms of what they're wearing and shit, but that happens. It's Oda. I think this guy's gonna try to fight me too. This sucks. Don't be that guy. Definitely gonna try to board me. But she has the arrow fruit, and it's really freaking cool. Like, she can pick paths it will go on, and I guess like it's like predetermined, like they can't go any other way after she sets it in stone, or maybe she can. I'm not quite sure how that works, but either way, it goes on a predetermined path that she chooses. And Loki seems to be able to see it with his blindfold on. Some people were speculating maybe he has future sight. I think that's very likely. Uh-oh. But he's getting messed up. Well, I thought we would be friends, but okay. Well, I'm dead, guys. This jackass. I was trying to be, sync him with him, but whatever. Well, either way, old Loki can see this coming, and I think it's because he can see the arrows. So I don't know if it's that he can see the future. I think the arrows are pretty much telling him what's going to happen. Because he says, thanks for telling me what's going to happen. Somewhere. So that's up to you guys to determine. These jackasses, this is just disrespectful. Oh, I suck at this game. Oh, I'm dead. This is why you never trust anyone in this game, I guess. It is Sea of Thieves, not Sea of Friends. I get it. So, yeah, I'm just gonna die. I suck at this game. There's no way I'm gonna beat these guys. I'm sorry, guys, if you're just like, oh my god, he sucks, or if anyone's watching this and they're like, oh my god, he sucks. Yeah, yeah, I suck. But now we found out why Shamrock has come here, because he wants. We're just gonna let this bad boy sink. should have known I was gonna get messed up coming over here. Do I have what it takes to save him? Oh, like, dang, I didn't even notice that guy. But either way, they want Loki to essentially join them so they can subjugate Elbaph into being part of the world government. It seems kind of convenient all this is happening right now. Unfortunate, in my opinion, that it feels so convenient. I wish that they could be making moves like this earlier, but either way. What does this guy want? I get it. You want my ship to sink. Thanks, brother. A good captain always goes down with her ship. Oh no. Goodbye, friend. What? That's just hurtful, guys. Ain't nobody had to do that. You guys didn't have to do that. But either way, now everything's rolling in motion. We've met Scopper Gabon. I forgot to mention the old man at Scopper Gabon. The guy in the hat is Scopper Gabon. We've met Scopper Gabon. Everything's good now. Well, not. Luffy's about to fight him for this key, to free Loki. I forgot to mention that Luffy's gonna free Loki. But either way, you guys know the gist. If you're watching this, if anybody, that one of you who's out there who may watch the first 2 minutes of this, you have absolutely read up to the point where you understand what's going on. And it seems like we're set up for a really awesome arc. I do think that it's possible we have other people come. I don't know who. Some people say the Blackbeard Pirates, Revolutionaries. I don't know. I don't want this arc to get too crowded, but I do think that it's possible that we do get some outside players, and that we do a little bit of the cutting away, just like Egghead, where we see other factions doing things that set up the final big conflict of One Piece, or the few final big conflicts of One Piece. So, we assume that maybe there's a battle with the Blackbeard Pirates and a Blackbeard with the world battle with the world government, and these two are separate conflicts. They could be the same conflict, who knows? But I think that's kind of the idea of what most people think is going to happen. And I know this sounds crazy, but first I want to talk about okay. So we're at the point where last chapter, Gabon shows up. What do we think is going to happen next chapter? So this is my theory. I think that they scuffle for a bit. Gabon does look pretty cool. Like, he looks pretty impressive. Because this is One Piece. Oda loves his old guys. This is his big introduction. I think Oda's going to make him look pretty cool. Is he going to beat Luffy? Probably not. That seems a little silly. But I actually do think that even if Gabon looks pretty good, Luffy will probably overwhelm him. And before things get too serious, I think that our next Holy Knight will appear. And he will appear in the castle. And I think I've heard a couple people talk about this. So I'm just gonna say, yeah, I agree with that idea. If that's something that you guys have thought about, I agree with that. That's probably gonna happen. I don't know if Zoro fights Gabon, and if he does, I don't think it does anything for either of their characters. Because we expect that Gabon should be a lot weaker than Zoro or Luffy. Well, not a lot weaker, but not as strong. But he should be well versed in hockey. This is the eeriest thing I've ever done. I love it. Oh, I see. Dude, is it? Oh my god, I was about to run into a rock. I'm getting kind of anxious out here. This is eerie. Hey, cool. Give me some credit for that. Even though I didn't do it. Screw those guys. But I think that could happen. I think that we may cut back to Robin and see, or not, yeah, Robin. She's at the library, which is right next to the school. I think we could cut back to them and see them kind of getting close to the school. I think that call, like, I don't know if it's next chapter, but in the next few chapters, it's very likely Colin will mistake Shamrock for Shanks. But outside of this chapter, outside of the next chapter, which, who knows exactly how that's going to play out, but I think that most people are right in saying that, the God Knight will show up in that circle, and it just feels a little predictable at this point. So, after this, I have three big predictions, and one of them I've seen both Brago and Sai talking about, and I promise you guys I didn't get this idea from them. I was also thinking something along these lines. However, after the whole Garling being revealed, because actually you can ask my brother, who will be on this channel with me sometimes, because the channel is Sworn Bros on YouTube. Because originally the idea is that we would be doing this together, but it's just something that he didn't really have time for. Um, and he's not really a big gamer, and I really wanted to do this with this game. I wanted to play this game on Twitch and stream it on there because it gives me something to do while I'm talking about One Piece. And it sets the tone for that pirate theme adventure kind of feeling. So I had predicted, or I was thinking that Garland could be the next Saturn, stepping up into his role. Oda would kill Saturn. Actually thought both Borsellino and Saturn would die. Something would happen to them. They'd be killed for their failures, yada yada. And we would get an Admiral Orange so that we could fill out the secondary color scheme, green, purple, orange, because we are starting that next phase of One Piece where it's time to get rid of the old guard unless they've already moved up the ranks. Red has moved up to Fleet Admiral. Yellow is the only one of the old yellow, blue, red primary color schemes, and I thought his time in the story was up in terms of being a Marine Admiral. And I thought that we would actually get a new Marine Admiral whose color would be orange. I was wrong, but we did get Garlic. And I do think that, oh my gosh. Um, I do think that we will have something similar happen here again. And again, you might have heard Brago and Sai talking about this. But again, I promise I didn't get this from them. I had thought about this before myself, and I had seen that they had thought this as well. And I was like, cool, somebody else agrees with me, because this is really kind of an off the wall idea. I think it's very possible, very likely, that this God Knight coming into the arc will be defeated. Shamrock will not be defeated this arc. Neither will Gunko. She might be, messed up, gets wounded, but I think. Can I go through here? How do I get in there? What do I do here? I can't remember. It's been a minute. I'm gonna drown. That's alright. I think this Holy Knight will be defeated here. who's gonna arrive. Not in this room. I think you were gonna get a little bit more time with him in this arc before he falls. But I think, and he's gonna look pretty cool before he gets defeated. I bet. Oda's not just gonna let him die, but I do think it is possible that Oda is going to have him taken out of the battle, or taken out, and he will be replaced, just like Saturn was, by another recruit, and that recruit will be Don Quixote do Flamingo. So that's my first crazy prediction. My second crazy prediction, and this is something other people have thought, and I agree with it. So if you've thought of this, I agree with you. That Bonnie will be revealed to be Shamrock's daughter. How do I get in there? I feel lied to. And then my last crazy theory is that I believe that Colin, Gabon's son, will get a devil fruit by the end of this arc. Possibly that third God Knight's devil fruit, possibly even Loki's. I know, crazy, because I actually do think that Blackbeard will end up with Loki's devil fruit ultimately, but it is possible that it's Colin. And I say that because Colin is introduced very similarly to Luffy. And I feel like it's possible that while, of course, we're not going to get anything too crazy from the character in the story, most likely, it's possible that by the end of the story, like, Oda just wants to set up the idea that Colin has a lot left. Like, there's a lot left for Colin to do in the future of this story. Going forward, after the events of the main story, you know, he'll go along his way, have his adventure, and, you know, ultimately, that'll be like our what if, or like our epilogue, like our real headcanon. I believe, you know, Colin's doing this these days. I believe Colin's up to this. You know, who knows? But he'll, like Momonosuke, he'll be a legend in his time, I believe. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. But Oda did give, you know, Momonosuke a really powerful devil fruit and set him up to grow into a very powerful character for the future that we'll never really see, probably. So, yeah, I think that by the end of the arc, or at the very end of the arc at least, just like Saturn, Doflamingo will be inducted with this new, the Holy Knight showing up here, will be invited. Oh, no, will be defeated, and Doflamingo will be invited to the Holy Knight. Of course, he will betray them later on, but I believe that he will join them for now. And then, I believe after that, it will be revealed in this arc that Shamrock is Bonnie's biological father. Outside of that, I also believe that Colin will get a devil fruit. Blackbeard will probably kill Loki and get his devil fruit. Oh, and I have one more crazy speculation. Just like in Sabaody, where the Straw Hats lost, we did not get to see them win. But this, it was the crew being defeated. We have never seen an arc where an island is in danger of being subjugated, where the Straw Hats were there, or has been subjugated, where they would not free this place. I think this will be the first time that the Straw Hats lose an island. I know that sounds crazy, given everything, you know, they're Yonko crew now and everything, but I think that the world government needs a big W. I think some giants will escape. Sure, we'll see them sailing away. The Straw Hats will do as much to free, get as many giants to safety and freedom as possible. But I do believe that the world government will seize Elbaph by the end of the arc. That's really all I've got and all I really wanted to talk about. I'm gonna go try to pick up this treasure. You guys don't need to see all that. I'm sorry for the kind of lackluster stream if that's what it was. But yeah, you guys tell me down below what do you guys think is gonna happen this arc? What do you guys think of Elbaph so far? I think it's set up to be one of the best. Frankie's getting stuff to do. Robin's getting stuff to do. Usopp seemed to be set up to be important. Let's see if it goes anywhere. Look at what happened with Wano and Zoro. Um, but it seems like this arc has a lot of potential, not just for, fights and all that cool stuff, but lore, hopefully some character development, and hopefully it sets the stage for the final war in a way that makes it feel like we're finally tumbling towards it. Because so far, while we know as an audience the Straw Hats are going to be fighting the world government and all this stuff, it doesn't feel like they're on that path yet to where they have to take down the world government. It still feels like they're kind of just on their adventure to find the One Piece, to find their treasure. And that's why I think a lot of people are assuming that Blackbeard will go down first before the government. I believe that. And I think even then, it's like, so what do we expect that the Straw Hats just find the treasure, learn the truth, and they're like, yeah, we're gonna go beat up the world government? I don't think it's as simple as that. I think that Oda is going to do something that sets them on path to want to fight the world government, and I think that losing Elbaph would be a great way to do that. But again, you guys will tell me what you think. Let me know down below for the YouTube people. Please like, share, subscribe. Thank you guys, and have a good day.